This is what the Shobi screen looks like for us for the digital connections. In the morning, you would get an email that would give the announcements, but you could also find it here under daily announcements. I'm clicking on May 14th. And every other day, Julia and I switched off about who was going to do each of the announcements for the day. And once in a while, my student teacher did some too. And this is that time lag we had due to the mix-up with IT.
Thursday, May 14th, 2020. Have a wonderful day.
Today is a day.
Good morning, sixth graders. I hope everyone is having a very productive week. Big thing that
Going back to the initial, after you looked up the daily announcements, you can go on to the checklist, which was the one that was found in the hub. And then you would see that checklist, and then you can see what you have to do for the day, just the normal Longfellow hub checklist. And with Shobi, they could click right on it and show which ones they had done already. And going back to the opening page, they would probably do their daily questions next. And they could do any order of these if they wanted to. But the daily question would be part of writing assignment. And I'm just picking one. And this one was a really simple one. What they did for the weekend. And I'll show you an example. This is Ray. Just the things that she could put in there. Sorry, that was airplane buzz dust. And then she showed her chalk mural that she did for the weekend. And then they would write different things, and some were more complicated than others. Going back to the initial page, the reading logs would be due at the end of the week. And then this is for my 7th hour math. We usually did a setup like this where we'd have the directions, and it would be like if I was teaching something, I'd have a whiteboard or a few whiteboards around the house that I would do like more of a traditional type on the board type of things, or making other videos, or doing explain everything to show. And there's a teaching lesson, and then the assignments can be listed down below. This is my student teacher. She did this lesson. We always try to make the videos kind of fun. They had a little introduction to it.
We are going to be looking at some sequences and some function rules and what that means. So
then after the introduction and also the lesson part, then they would do, oftentimes we'd have them do a split screen review. That's where you had an assignment, but then you did it and you followed along with the video. So you could do it alongside of the video.
so we are going to go through our split screen practice. So this is just 4 questions.
And you just put them next to each other, and Shobi pretty easy to put YouTube on one side and then Shobi on the other side. And this would be the assignment that you could have right on there. They turn them in and you can grade them as you go. Next up would be like a language arts. And it could be anything. And we had some were writing a big paper, and Julia had had put in the written directions, but then she also gave verbal directions, and also answering questions. And then we had a chance to talk with the kids on Google Meet. Every other day we'd have social studies, as you know, and the social studies lessons, same thing, would show up. And as you can see, those are the grades that they have. You can see how many people turned it in, how many people late, so it's pretty easy to keep track of what you had to do. And this was a Nearpod, and she had the directions for the Nearpod. I need a login for it, so I can't take you into it, but it's pretty cool. And then again, we're able to give directions, both written and then verbal ones too. In science, I always try to have some kind of a introduction or else the science teaching lesson part. And with my videos, I always had kind of like the introduction to it was like a beginning of a TV show or something. It says exactly what you're going to do. So lesson planning wise, it just shows you what you're up to. For the videos, I tried to have different backgrounds, and I know my student teacher did too. I think Miss Frady did
Hi guys, for
also.
science today,
But I did some. I had my little
now with
places.
global warming
This one was outside.
and, the climate change that we watched videos for a couple weeks ago. And we talked about how the glacier's melting and it's changing the temperature, and then also how much salt is in it.
I also had 3 spots in my house that I would usually do videos, and I had lights and obviously that one microphone. For my math class, the accelerated math class, we didn't put it in here because we also had Venture Kids. So I just went to our regular Shobi that we had before. We just titled a new one called Digital Connections. And then each of the assignments were in there. And again, just like in the 7th hour, I try to do a teaching video every day. If it was even a short, just an introduction to let them know what's going on so they can get verbal and written directions, and then an assignment that would be with that.
How you would do it. There's more than one right answer. Definitely wrong answers, but there's more than one right answer. So get those done. Make sure submitted before 8 o'clock. I don't think it's too hard. So and don't forget that extra. See you guys later.
And I always had, I have music that goes through that. Each of the different classes have different music, introduction music. This is the assignment that was for that day. That's how we use Shobi, and using the video. This is how we would use the Shobi, just to show how everything worked with it. How you can use it for the grading, and you can see the grades right on there. You can see who's turned in things, see if they've turned in late. Had a couple kids who weren't very truthful with their parents, but then they said, well, I turned in before, and then I could see that no, they actually turned it in after they told their parents. That's not super important, but at least you can see when it's been turned in or when they got things done. So I guess with Shobi, I thought this was pretty slick, being able to do it, to make the links. I don't know about the other ones, but this is how we used it. And I thought we did a nice job of making it so that school and home stuff were somewhat similar.